Hey guys, Dex Water Ventures here. Wow, I tell you what, guys, this has been a pretty cool little project to work on. Making a little headway. I've been trying to get some more videos out there, but thanks for those new subscribers. By the way, I've been out there looking at you guys, checking you guys out, responding to all your emails and your texts and stuff. So thanks for reaching out to me. Thanks for all the people that have given me some feedback, some great ideas and stuff on this build. It's been pretty fun, I gotta admit. I'm at a stage now where I've pretty much epoxied all of the wood. 2 coats on one side. I've got another coat to put on the floors and everything. To finalize that up, I wanted to make sure I got plenty of epoxy. I did not use a marine plywood like I mentioned last time, but I'm also making these floors where I can pull them out and give them regular maintenance and stuff and be able to make changes later on. I've completed the wiring for this boat, and I got to tell you, that was pretty fun too. Had a buddy of mine help me with that, and so I got the wiring all done, got the bilge pump all hooked up. Got a nice little paint job done on the inside. Gosh, I think I think I've done 2 or 3 coats now on the inside. Paint and aluminum was pretty interesting. The sides that already had paint on it, sanded down, cleaned it with some cleaner and get all the oils and greases and stuff off, and it painted really well. But the bench aluminum seats was quite interesting painting those. It took quite a few coats to get those nice and covered, and I've even done a few tests to see if it would scratch up, and believe it or not, it doesn't scratch up very easy. And so what I promised you is I would give you a peek at the floor with the wood off, and let me grab this camera here and do a little walk around for you guys. So you can kind of see I've given it a nice paint job. I've got the seats nicely painted. Really excited about these. That will get like some kind of, I don't know if I'm gonna use Eva foam or what kind of material I am, but I'm gonna cover the seats, the floors with Eva foam or Gator foam or whatever, and then the front, I decided I'm gonna go ahead and carpet because I've already carpeted this back part, as you can see here. Carpeted down there where the gas tank goes on that floor. I've carpeted the 2 storage containing areas here. And so I'm like, I want to kind of blend it in. I want to kind of pull it all in together. So I'm not going to do the foam over the casting deck. I'm going to kind of do a little mix of things. A lot of people say, go ahead and just do the whole boat. It'll look better. I think you're right. I might like it better. But I wanted to kind of bring it together with the carpet because I did the cooler area right here. This has a cooler mount. And so it can be, I don't know, I'm assuming this was built originally for an aerator of some kind. So I'm gonna use it as a cooler because I happen to like to drink beer. So I'm gonna have me a nice place to put me a beer, put me some waters, a cooler in there, keep me some food in there and whatnot for snacking when I'm out running about on this and fishing and stuff. So the floors, as you guys can see, I've done all light aluminum. They're really sturdy. I did decide to fill the floor with some foam, and the reason why is I did remove the foam out of the rear, okay? The seats still all have flotation in and under them, but I did go ahead and decide to add some foam into the flooring. Now, I'm still working with this stuff. I don't know how I wanna do like a permanent attachment, but right now I've just got the foam in there wedged in and wedged with a piece on top. If anybody has any ideas, a way to keep that foam from flapping or moving. I really don't think it's gonna move very much, but what I don't wanna do is I don't wanna get cruising along, get bouncing on the water. We all know once you get bouncing on the water, things in a boat start to loosen up. So I'm looking for ideas. Some people said, hey, Deck, just glue it down to the floor, maybe make some stench or something to put into it to keep it, or tie it down, or put some wire. I don't really, some of the ideas are good. Some of them I don't know if I really want to do because what I've tried using is all aluminum and stainless steel on the boat because I don't want anything to rust one day. moving up to the front, you can see what I've added. Now, I didn't have to do this. If you notice up front, I did add some switches, and I redid the front wiring up there. And those switches actually have breakers in them. But what I also did, and gosh, thank to God for all these YouTubers out there that like build boats for fun or for sale or whatever they do in their channels, because it gave me a great idea. I went ahead and added a second fuse installation for the nav lights, the bilge pump, and the stuff that I'm gonna run. And I've also got I've got plenty of space there, because what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some lighting around the edge. I don't know how yet or what lights. Still gonna pick those out. So I'm gonna try to get that done before I actually seal the floor. But for the most part, I wanted a central place to be able to just come in and add a small whip from there to my lights. As you can see, or to my panel. I still have 4 open that I can use. And so there may be some more stuff that I'm gonna wanna add, but you can see what I've done is I've added a battery. You can see the battery mount down in there with my positive and negative. And I did cut this down a little bit, and it should still fit a battery in there just fine, but I really wanted to use this because I like that it had extra plugs and extra things. I could plug a USB or cigarette lighter, or I could easily disconnect my battery if I needed to. As you can see, I also put in a battery cutoff switch. And the reason I did that is because those switches up there had a blue and a yellow wire off them that were always on for lights. So it lights up in 2 different ways. The whole panel lights up, but then when you actually hit one of the switches, an additional light comes on, letting you know that that device is currently turned on. So I went ahead and put a battery cutoff switch in it, like my Malibu, and like most boats, so that I can just turn off and turn it on. So when I get off the water and I get done, I can basically just turn that off. The only thing I did not put on the battery backup is going to be the Suzuki motor. That wiring is already back there in the back from where it previously was. And what I've done is I've extended it, and I will connect that directly to the battery. If anybody has a better idea or a good reason why I shouldn't do that, well, please tell me. Post something out there on my YouTube channel. Let me know when I get this video posted. Please tell me, if you think I should do something different. But I also went ahead and I took out the bucket. I had a bucket in here, and man, it looked good, gave lots of storage and everything. But when I was working on the boat, I actually put my hand in there to rest it in there, and it broke. It broke the edges around the top. So I'm glad I figured out that wasn't very strong from the get-go, because then I changed my design idea. And what I did is I just brought in a raised floor area right here, which will actually allow me to store life jackets all under here. It'll allow me to store some, dry stuff up here. I'll keep my anchor up down in here. It's a pretty small anchor and will fit right in there. But I came up with this idea, and I thought, man, that's gonna be great. So that's been double epoxied, and I will be putting flooring on top of that. And it gave me a nice little area to go ahead and build this little platform right here for mounting my fuse box and mounting my cutoff switch. So let me swing around and kind of give you guys another view of that. On this side, you can see, and one thing I did, I made sure to label all of my wires. So I've labeled my bilge pump, my accessories, and my nav lights, and I've got them in there with fuses, and I've got the front also labeled, so I know what goes where. And again, it runs all the way up to the front. I'll do a little cleaning up of this wire. Once I put the floor in, I'll set that down and make it so where it's really not that visible. But so this is the progress that I've got so far. And again, I am by no means no expert. This is my first time ever doing this. It's been a great winter project because, I actually started a late winter project. But I gotta tell you, I've never done anything like this before in my life. And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of math. I've learned a lot working with aluminum. I've learned a lot just overall how these boats are made and really how resilient they really are. I did leak test this boat when I first got it. It had sat out in the field since 1991. Believe it or not, I did get a title for it too. But I did leak test it, filled the whole boat up with water, probably more than halfway on most of the seats and not a lick of it. But I did go ahead, I rubberized the floor anyway. I didn't have to do that. I just thought, you know, I don't know what I don't know. Anytime you get these aluminum boats, from, you know, what I've heard from others, you get them out, get them on the lake, they've been sitting up for years. You don't know what's gonna bend, what's gonna torque, and where you might get some leakage on the boat. So I went ahead and rubberized the inside of the floor, and hopefully to prevent that. So I know all my rivets and everything are kind of sealed really well. You probably ask yourself, well, what have you done on the outside of the boat? Well, I haven't done a lot, and here's why. I'm not looking for it to be super fancy. This boat does have some decals already on it, and I did consider taking these off, stripping these and taking this aluminum down and making it shine and putting maybe a paint job to it or whatnot. But at the end of the day, there's a couple things I've learned about building these boats. It really comes down to what you're gonna put into it, money-wise, to get it to where you want it. And if you're ever gonna sell it, are you ever gonna get your money back out of it? And what are you gonna use it for? I'm gonna use this boat primarily for the lake, for fishing, getting up in stumps and trees and getting up in the north part of Lake Lavon and do fishing there. And I realized, you know, it's probably not gonna do me any good to make the bottom look pretty and perfect. Now, it just so happens, I did have this boat off this trailer upside down, and the bottom of the boat is in tip-top shape. No dings, no dents. I think I have one dent in this whole boat, which when I was buying it, I was really surprised. And it's right here on the corner. And that's really the only ding that I have on this boat. I've redone the trailer. I've redone pretty much everything. And you can see it's that paint. I used the smoke gray. And man, I gotta tell you, I'm pretty impressed with that enamel smoke gray. What is this product that I used? It's a Rust-Oleum protective enamel, and it is the gloss smoke gray. I originally wanted to do flat, but then I saw another video where someone had used this same paint, the same color and everything, and I was like, wow, you know, I kind of like to have my boat that color too. Plus, I've decided to go ahead. My initial thought was to go with the gray foam, but I've decided I'm going to go with the saddle brown. And I think the saddle brown against this gray will look really good. However, stay tuned, because when I go to get that installed, I've never installed that stuff before. So when I go get it installed, if the saddle brown doesn't look good, I may go back and order the gray. But I just realized I had too much gray going on. But anyway, so that's a quick update. Get a good picture of what it looks like. It's been a lot of work. A lot of work with aluminum. Guys, if you haven't worked with aluminum before, it's definitely take your time. Make sure you got the right rivets. Make sure you got the right cutters. Make sure you measure. You measure in my case, measure 2 or 3 times before you cut once, because a couple times I got in a hurry and found out, we better start measuring better. And so, but anyway, so it's been a great load of fun. Almost done, not far off. I think what we'll do, I'm done with the electrical for now, unless I add some additional lights. So I'm gonna get these boards all finished up. You can see they've got, this is the side that has one coat of epoxy, and it's looking really good, coming out good, but they need another coat. So I'm gonna make sure that these boards all get enough coats of epoxy on them so that I don't see any kind of early rotting or early, or any issues with it. It's kind of my game plan. So anyway, guys, so that's the update from Deck's Water Adventures. Summer's right around the corner, so we're going to be planning some trips down to Florida. I know we're going to try to do another string of islands down in Clearwater. I know there's some islands south of Clearwater that I want to do, some real naturistic places. And so we're going to try to start scheduling some trips down there. And, we're probably not going to We'll probably get us not really a condo or anything too fancy, but maybe just an Airbnb or something just to stay in, because most of the time what we're going to try to do is we're going to get that talkie cap blown up here pretty soon, get it all inspected, make sure, you know, there's no problems with it. We're going to take that down there and try to do another set of those islands down there. This time I'd like to do some camping, try some overnights, but we'll just have to see, you know, how things are when we get down there, depending on the no-see-ums or, you know, the weather or whatnot, see what it looks like. But anyway, so that's an update from Dex Water Adventures. You know, stay in touch with me, reach out to me, let me know if you know, like I said, I'm no expert at this. So by all means, if you're rebuilding a boat and you know a lot more than me, you know, I'm more than open to learn. Give me feedback, you know. Otherwise, you know, I hope what I've done or things that you've seen might give you an idea, because I know there's been a lot of websites that have given me a lot of ideas and things that I wanted to do on this boat. And I've really enjoyed watching all the videos out there, the other YouTubers working on their boat builds. Anyway, so okay. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button, and you know, let's share this out with your friends. Let them know. I mean, if they're rebuilding boats or wanting to get into boating or whatnot, I will be doing a boat video here pretty soon. That's kind of the one thing I wanted to do kind of the springtime before the summer kicks in. What I'm going to do is, I get asked all the time, you know, I want to buy a boat, but I don't know what kind of boat to buy. Well, I've had a lot of boats, and I've seen a lot of people buy boats. And sometimes people buy boats for the right reasons, and sometimes people buy boats for the wrong reasons. They may go buy a boat that they think that's what they want to do, whether it's some kind of water sports or whether it's some kind of, you know, just tying up and relaxing or whatever. And then they find out, man, I made a huge mistake. This is not the kind of boat I want, or it's not the kind of boat I need. And the reason I was asked to do a video like that is because I made that same mistake. And so I think that would be valuable for people to be able to, you know, have a little bit of information on what they're thinking before they go buy it, whether they're going to go buy a sailboat, a power boat, a ski boat, a fishing boat, a john boat, a rubber boat, a plastic boat, you know, kind of give them an idea of some things to think about, you know, build that checklist, some things to think about when you're going and buying a boat. Anyway, okay guys, hey, thanks for watching the videos. Hey, thanks everyone that's supporting me. I really do appreciate it, and be sure to share it out with your friends. And again, anybody looking to buy a boat or anything, or if you just want to, you know, hit me up, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. And if you have advice, I'm very humbled. I'm always willing to listen, and I'm always learning. So all you guys keep learning too. Hey, Dex Water Adventures out.